and welcome to Opally Hour, the channel for models, but also where mistakes are made, and that means hopefully you don't make the same ones. So today we are going to be doing the Moomin 95, the last one for this month, and if you saw 94 you know what's in store. Oh, that rhymed. Anyway, so I will get all the parts ready. See you in a moment. Okay, here's your 95. Let's see what we have in store. Alright, so, okay. Oh, we're going to do the outside and the inside, so we're going to finish off the other half. Well, 2/3 really. Also do the wallpapering, which is good from a clamp point of view, so I can use it to do both if they're gathered. We're going to be doing inside the windows and doors, and also doing the interior of the house, doing something on assembly for that. So I don't know. Alright, what do we have? Tulipa and the red-haired young man. Okay, who likes them? Oh, the red-haired young man falls in love with Tulipa. That's what I think it is. And they're travelling together, all of them. So a little bit of information. So Tulipa is a young man with red hair. Okay. You would have thought there were two different ones, wouldn't you, really? Oh, maybe that's why. I don't know. Anyway, I was thinking how well my hair might shine of the seafarers in your glass tower, he says. It's about the Moonies and the Great Flood. Okay. And then we have a family reunion and home lifestyle. And again, we have lots of cartoons and a comic strip with contradictions. So I'm sure it'll tell you all about that. And here comes our build and what we're doing. So we are completing, as we said, the other side of this. We're also putting on the piece of cardboard to hold all the pieces together. So a lot of pieces going in there. And then painting the outside. If you haven't already done that, these are the colours you will need. Let's get that in the right place so you can see it. And that finishes that, and that's what we have with this one. After you put the wallpaper on the same one, so we're going to be doing a lot with this one today. And this is a removable wall for sure. 100% is removable because it says so down here, but you can't see. It says it's removable. So that's going to be. I would have thought we'd have more movable walls, to be honest with you. Otherwise, how are you going to get at anything? We will see then. And then we are going to take the veranda wall, and we're going to rough it up, and then put the windows in, and also window frames on the inside. So what I'm going to do this time, as long as I remember, is actually paint the inside here as white as well, just in case it doesn't reach all the way, just on the inside. But we're actually putting on our bay window as well. And then we are putting on some strips inside the house, and this is for behind the stairs, so it's going to be interesting how we are going to get to it, and we just have two to do for that particular one. And then we're done, so it's actually quite a lot that we have to do this time. So let me get that together and we'll make a start. Actually, let me show you the pieces. Alright, so it comes with the paper for the wall we're going to do. It comes with the three pieces, and it comes with our very thin wall frames, window frames even. Okay. We will also need the strips, the red strips we got last time, and our cardboard. And we will need initially this wall here that we were working on last time, and it actually dried quite well. I'm quite happy with how that dried. Let's hope that we can get these to marry up. Right, we are starting on the door side, so another one the one with the very thin strip on the bottom, this one here. We're starting here and going to get that put in place. So that takes us all the way up to here. So I'm going to use it from the bottle again because I think it gives us a lot more wool. Glue! Goodness, wool! Where on earth did that come from? So let me check this again. So I need a bit along here and a bit along here, and all along here. Kind of need a bit more than what I can get out of the my applicator, which I prefer to use, but for this purpose it doesn't really matter. So just make sure you glue everywhere. And I'm in two minds whether I leave all this to wait or if I go straight into doing the wallpaper, because it's going to kind of be clamped in the same place. Decisions. Right. Well, we will make a start here. Just making sure we marry everything up. Needs a little bit higher there. And this time I'm going to start with my clamps by the door, I think. Just a little one. Oh, brought paper with me. Just make sure you don't have too much excess. On places it's going to matter. I mean, it's going to matter on the frames really. Probably not too many other places. And don't forget that you will have to be painting the outside of this as well. So let's get this one on. I guess we'll do it in stages and behave and not rush and put the paper on at the same time, which I'm tempted to do. Of course I am. See, it feels like it's sitting a bit lower than it did before. I can see that this is off here. Which makes it off all along there. Get all this glued up, I think, and then we'll worry about it. Because at the moment I got lots of clamps. Especially if they're going round the right way. Get this one down, which is for a window, which actually has an overlap, by the way. You can see it has quite a big overlap too, and as this is married up here, it's interesting how you're going to get the door in. Window, I think this is actually not even a door. Get down here. Got my finger stuck. And one more in here. I'm not 100% sure that that needs it. So I'm going to give that a few minutes to start to take. Maybe one more little one. Let's take you. See if I can get that in there. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm better off trying to get one of these clamps in. And get that in there. And then we'll leave this a few minutes and I guess we will do all the outside before doing the wallpaper. Just, I mean, one of the reasons being that we're going to have to put those cardboard pieces in before we do the wallpaper anyway. Alright, so that should all be good. Alright, I will be back in a bit. Alright. So I'm going to take these. I've taken one of these off. I noticed it was kind of putting quite a bit of pressure on this frame, so I don't want to break it. So I'm just going to remove the ones where we are going to be attaching the next piece, which is up this direction. That one can stay on. This one needs going. And then we'll see if we've got enough left over. If I push this to one side, we can reuse it. Okay, so this one's come up already. Good times. So let's do, so we're going to be using this middle piece next. This one here, and I believe it goes like this. So I'll put a bit more glue under here because that didn't take well. And some on here, and a little bit more on here. Up the sides here, you can't see everything I'm bloody talking about. Alrighty. And down here, down here. This is the one that hasn't taken. And that's a window there anyway. And how far down? A little bit here. And here somewhere. Okay, let's put the lid on that. And then we'll get that put in place. So like I say, this one's definitely not gone down. This one's fine. This one's fine. Get rid of that excess that we're going to end up with. We need to do something with that. Getting glue on it all. So let's put one where they join here. Okay, we're going to move this. Can't work with it in. If I can work out where the button is. Okay. So we put 2 of these on the inside, I think. Gosh, pushed it out way too far. Would have been there all day. Don't do what I just did. I put quite a bit of pressure on that then. Getting glue everywhere, so I'm gonna get a damp cloth to that in a second, because that will hinder things. I'll put this here in a bit more. And then going to get this, if I can, in here too. It's a tight fit. Go on, move on over. There we go. So what I want to do is put it underneath this piece here. There's a tight fit, I will have you. Turn it a bit. There we go. And this one can go here. Might need a little bit on the end then. Oh, strength. Get that one there. This one there. Out a bit and over here. And that should make those all good. See if we can move this one a bit over here. this one over here, and finally this one here. Now all my clamps are in use. Right, I'm just gonna get that tidied up a bit. Right, and we will leave that for a little bit. Like I said, I was just worried on this frame. It did look like it was starting to bend with the strength of the bigger clips. So just be aware of that. But everything else, I mean, this one's not glued down at the end, but I think we're going to get that next, because these are probably almost dry now, so we can leave it for a few minutes and we should be able to come back and do that. Where did I say didn't? I can put this one on there. Alright, I will be back in a few minutes. Right, so most of that's taken. There's a piece here which hasn't, but most of it has. One thing I noticed was how much of an overlap I have. I don't have an overlap on this one. Maybe it should have gone over more. Now it's got me thinking, but then it would have. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, not to worry. So I'm going to put it as this is a removable panel that we need it to be cover up the edges. Let's go with that. Alright, and this one should, let's get rid of that glue block because that will be in the way. Off you come. Will be the last bit we do, and then we put those cardboard pieces on to hold it in place, and then we wait for that to dry and start on the wallpaper. I'm a bit worried about the edge there though. I don't know the answer to this. I mean, it seems to match up quite well with the windows and everything. I mean, there's an overlap on this one, but this one's flush, so you didn't get it. And down here, all the way down, plenty of glue. I'm not going to worry about this piece coming up right now because I'm going to fix that when we do the wallpaper. And this one just goes in here, all the way down. It matches up fine. It's all very strange. And I guess if it is over at the end, then I'll just have to trim it. But I mean, generally it's sitting quite well. Glue everywhere. Don't want to do that. Make it more difficult to paint when we come to paint it. I was going to put it here, but I don't think I will. And bear in mind, like there's one of these, I can't remember where it is now, was a little bit up on the window, and I did take the assumption that it's not going to matter too much because we will have the window, this one here, just this side, is a little bit up. But I did take the assumption that we're going to have the windows there, so it probably won't matter too much. Not going to be able to get at this one very well though, like at all really. This has a little bit more reach. Maybe I'm not 100% sure that that's catching it. It's definitely not catching it down here now. Let's see. That one in there. Click that on. Like so, and I think we'll be okay. And then it comes to the other side, and like I said, I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to put our pieces of cardboard in next, so I'm going to get those cut out and ready to rock and roll, and all these pieces will be going into here. So I'm going to get all those ready, and by then this should have had a few minutes to take, and we can move on to the next stage. Alrighty, that's had a good few minutes, so we should be good. Now we're going to put our cardboard pieces on. If I can get these off. Some of them got really good clamps. It's very weird about this side. Makes me think I've done it wrong. Maybe I have. I don't know, guys. I guess it'll hang over a bit, that edge, that's all, because the windows line up and everything. This is tough. Ugh. Right, so onward. Our pieces of cardboard out the way, guys. We will be needing you again for the wallpaper. It's like quite a lot being done to this house, these whole 5 issues actually. Right, we need F6, which is this little one that's going to go up here. So I'm going to use tacky like I did last time. Have a pretty solid grip there. And pop that in. Then I'm not going to worry about letting this dry, so that goes in there. And then I've done that one already. So then it's this one, this baby one here, this one, this one. We should have this one. I'm thinking that would be my guess. Right, fix in place F5 up here. Fix in plate, not place. F2 will be this tiny one. And this other little one will be over here. F3. F4 will be this one. And F3 this one. So personally I don't overly think these really do that much. I mean, I guess they're meant to, but I don't know. Just push them down, make sure they grip and get straight on with that wallpaper, which is also by wood glue. So, and we will be needing the making a lot of noise now, the clamps. Right. Let's get this out. So the first one is the greeny colour. Okay. And I can find the opening of the paper. There it is. So the bottom one by the door is the green one. Should be able to easily tell which is which really. So we have one at the top which is got the blue one, that one here. This one down the middle, and this one this way up, so they're all the opposite way around to what I've done, but the same principle, that you've got a line going up here separating the 2 different colours. So let's start with this one, make sure we get it in the right spot. I'm just going to go straight into doing this. Like I say, the cardboard, I think it's great, I just don't know how, if it really does the job that it's meant to do. Right, let me get rid of that. There's a lot of glue there. And then this will help put any of the pieces that missed on the other side into play. So much glue. It's kind of got too much glue really. I should get my tissue. But we want to make sure it goes down too. Just my straight lines aren't very straight. And then before the next one, we're going to bring the wall over and we're going to start weathering it. So we're going to be filling it, weathering it. I also want to paint it white on the windows and things, because last time I felt that it could have done with that, so I'm going to that done. Okay, and like I say, this one down here first. So just make sure you line everything up as you can, especially on the bottom there. And then again, a bit of glue excess isn't going to be the be all and end all, but it is a thing. There again, having it all over your hands is as well. Makes quite the pickle. Making sure it's lined up all right. Needs a bit better grip. This one needs a little one. Just on here because I can see it lifting a little bit. And then we will leave this and I'll come back and do the next one. I mean, the most important one is trying to get that first one in and flush like this one that we're doing now. And I'm going to clean up all this glue because I put way too much on. Ridiculous amounts. Very, very wasteful. And where I am here, right on this side, you can't even see what I'm doing. That's where that paneling is lifted. So it's going to run along the excess so it doesn't go all over the shell. And inside this window there's quite a bit as well falling out. Can't see that side. Right, we will give that, and you can see what I mean about it being over, and that's over both sides, so don't know. And yet its joint is right on the other window, so weird. And then how many clamps do I have left? Do I have enough to do this middle one? Potentially, because this is taking quite long. Right, let's get this middle one done as well. And then once we put this wallpaper on, this wall's done until goodness knows what number issue. But at some point, but it does feel like we're moving along now, and this is the removable wall. Didn't need to remove all that glue there. If I had thought that I was going to go straight onto this, but here we are. Probably be a bit sticky still anyway, so not a big deal. I'm going all the way along here. We've got to make sure that we get in there right, and then it's the pink one like I'm looking at, and it's going to go up to some of the way up here. Not sure what I knocked. I knocked something on my computer then. I guess we'll find out. Right, let's get this in. And this is where I want some glue on the outside as well for this panel. And then, like I say, after this is all dry, there isn't, it's just getting onto the other wall with the mess, the filler. Oh, the joys, the joys. You see the enthusiasm, huh? Oops, that fell off. Need to move that one down a bit because it wasn't allowing this to go flat. piece fell off of this one, but we may not need it now. And this can go on here, and I think we'll be able to get all 3 of these done now. It's not right, is it? How weird. Hold on. Alright, so take this one off again. So although this one has a different shade on the second half here, this one is the other way round, which is why this window does not line up. We should still be okay to take this off, and now we should have it lining up. And that's what I thought was weird. It's like, well, I'm sure this should be matching downside better than it is. There we go. And this should still be sticky enough not to have to re-glue. But before I do the other piece, I'm going to go and wash my hands because they'll glue all over the place. Oh, don't do what I just did. I pushed it in. It's going to end up with quite a crease going on that piece. I have a lot of glue on me. I'm just going to push this one in a bit. Okay. Grab this big one for this panel. A little bit of a bulge going on here. Right, let's put these on, I think. And one on the other one as well. And one here. If I can get this one in down here. Alright, I'm going to wash my hands and then we should be able to do that last one. Alright, so let's get this last one on. Can't believe I almost put it back to front. And then we can get the filler in that last wall and give that a chance to dry before we rub it all down. And you know what I think about the filler. It wasn't terrible, it's just I just don't have the right equipment to do it, really. So we'll see how today's effort goes. Good times, a bit of paper from my paper here to protect my board. I need to get a new one. Obviously didn't take it off to cut something. Sounds about right, doesn't it? Sometimes you just want to get it cut. I was thinking that I reckon, and this is a guess, that, let's make sure we put this on the right way round, so I think it's this way, that I reckon we have 2 magnetic walls. You know, I'm just having so many doubts on this. As I should be. Oh my word. This one's still wrong. This one's got to be on the top. I should have checked it against the wall. I did that last time I put these all on. Glue all over my arm. Let's see if I can get this off without breaking it. You know, I'm just going to leave it. I think it's going to be more hassle trying to take it off, so it's just not going to match against the house. And to be honest with you, when you take this is a removable wall, so when you take your walls off you're not going to be looking at it, are you? Maybe. It's a bit unfortunate. Got this all over the show, all the glue. Bit unfortunate, I put it on the wrong one, so go careful with that. Make sure that the pink one is in the middle, not the green one. I went with the green. This needs to go back on this piece on the outside. This might need a bit more glue, but I think it's just going to rip it if I try to take that off now. Even though it's wood glue, and wood glue is really good for taking apart wood, not so good for taking apart paper. That's what I'm going with. So we will just have to go with what we have. Not perfect, wrong colours, so do bear that in mind. Sometimes disaster strikes, and in this case, I guess there's no wool there. And in this case it struck. Right, put one up here. Well, that's rather unfortunate. Disappointed with myself. I don't know why I assumed it would be the other way. It's kind of a bit difficult to see the colours in the book, but it's really not impossible. Just rushing, I'm guessing. Take your time, guys. Don't do what I'm doing. It's a little bit of rushing. You don't want to do that. Okay. I'm alright with this. This one's taken quite well over here. I'm so disappointed. No good, no good. Let me get that far enough. Alright, so I'm going to leave that and come back to that later when it's dry, but we won't need that anymore for today anyway. So let me go and get the wall that we are going to now do the filler on. Don't forget, you're meant to have painted the walls here on the blue that I've already done on the edges here, and before you put the paper on. And like I say, get it the other way around. Pink's in the middle, not green. Green's at the top here. So this one's right, but these two should have been around the other way. Bit unfortunate, but my fault for not paying enough attention, so beware. Okay, let me go and get this other piece. Right, this is the wall that we did last time, I believe, where it had quite a lot of area apart. So I'm just going to put some filler in. And I'm going to use, I found this finally, I'm going to use this and also some sticks to try and get it just in the areas of the hole. So this was the one that was so far apart, it was kind of crazy. And just try not to make as much mess this time as I did last time. Needs a fair bit more. I mean, you could probably also use cotton buds, I'm thinking, if you wanted to. And I'm going to let it probably dry overnight, to be honest with you, and come back in and do this. I want to make sure it's totally dry. I mean, it's meant to be, this stuff's meant to be instant. I don't know enough about filler, really. I know it's used for holes. Right, I'm going to get into this and then show it to you once it's done. Alright, I am thinking something like that, which hopefully will be a bit better than the last time, and we will see. I kind of got to do it everywhere, but less on me and less and more in the spots that it's meant to go in. See a place that I've missed there, or it's fallen inside. see if I've got enough. I just put enough on the little tray, and all I'm doing is using the trays that the stuff comes in, the woods come in, the delivery comes in, not stuff, the pieces, and I'm just using that as my place to put filler. So we'll give that time to settle, and then tomorrow I will, which will be in one moment for you, but several hours for this to take. And like I say, even though it's meant to be instant, I'm hoping that it will work and it will harden, and then I can do it well, because I can see that this is here's got quite a lip to it, where this is pressed down, that one can't even press down, so it's probably almost too pressed down, but I can't do anything about that. So there we have it. So I will be back for a moment for you with this all done. See you soon. Alright, so this is what this one looks like, so not as bad. Sorry, Julia's cracking my model pieces. Not as bad as the other one. I'm going to get this rubbed down, get it buffed, and then I will come back and show you. Buffed, I mean weathered. Alright, so not a great job, but it's rubbed down-ish. This one fell out, so I had to redo that one. This one, I know, is not going to look great, but other than that, I think we're okay-ish. So I'm going to, I've roughed it up in places. I'm going to go ahead and get the paint on the lines with this, and then rough it up again, and it should be good to put windows on. Alright, so the marker ran out, so it's taken me quite a bit of time. I had to mix up some paint for the wall. So in the meantime, what I've done, even though it doesn't tell you to do, is run white around the edge here, which was brown before. I mean, it's not perfect, but it will take the edge off, so it's not so obvious. The other thing I thought I would show you, I also got this little one, so you can see just what this one is. And also got a little bucket, which the bucket's actually stuck. I think this is on premium, and the handle doesn't move either. So this came, I think my bucket looks pretty good too. They got the stone effect going on though, so it's good. And it also came with a strip, I guess, to stick them on. So that's what I got. I think that was the part of the premium subscription that I had. So I will be back when that is all dry and I've done the markings that I said I would do. So I did actually get it painted and it dried, and then when I rubbed it down to make it all rough, the paint came off and it showed all the white filler again, so I was back to square one. So we're waiting again, but it's okay, it's the way it is. Alright, so I don't think it's great. I'm not even sure if it's much better than the last one, but here we are. So we are going to put in the door with the pretty glass, and this is the veranda side, which has a pretty one, and two side windows first, which were from issue 79, 78 and 80. So the two windows, make sure you take your labels off. And let's get those glued in, and hopefully I can see us needing to cut this in, but we'll see. Let's start with the door. So like I said, I just painted the outside of the frame white. I don't think it's, you're certainly not told to do that, but I don't, because of the frames that they provided aren't wood. I felt it would be a little better, so we are pushing it in from the outside, and it's going to be a tight squeeze, guys, again, and you kind of want it a tight fit. Well, it went in, well, that's a good thing. Okay, so that goes in all the way. This is the work. Oh, it does fit, you know. Okay, so maybe that's why it had a little bit left over. So put in these windows. I'm not using too much wood glue. I'm not expecting them to really pop out, although this one does have a bit more give than others that we've had. Just make sure that we don't have any glue on the outside. Like I say, I'm not overly impressed with the job. Maybe, what do you think about this? Maybe if I mixed the filler, now I've got paint made up for this, with the paint next time, then I would have blue filler. I mean, I'd probably make it would take a long time probably for it to take, but you know, it is a thought, as my thoughts go. Make sure it's up the right way, which I don't think that one is. Let's switch that round. It would help to have the windowsill at the bottom, huh? There we go. So you want it that way round. I don't know if you can see that, with the windowsill towards the bottom. And with all the trouble I made of these windows, they're not going in terrible. Oh, I didn't dry fit this one. Probably should have. And like I say, you probably don't need much wood glue there. Quite a firm fit. And the last one. Except for these are a lot more loose than the others we've had. Okay, and then we're going to, into this horrible area here, we are going to do the bay window, which came in issue number 82. So probably need some glue here, maybe on here. Oh, should have dry fitted it again, shouldn't I? And along here. I wonder what's stopping it going in further. Nothing really, other than the roof. That's the only thing that's going to stop it going in further than it wants to. So I'm going to put a bit of blue around here as well. It probably is a little low, can't really see that side. Let me have a look at the camera. Oh, okay, we got some in. And then see if we can squeeze this one in, which is a lot harder than the others. Okay, get there eventually. I don't think this bottom piece is in, but the top's in. Bottom piece definitely. Oh, there we go. So I guess just make sure it's straightish. It does come all the way through, so I guess we're okay. Alright. Okay, that one's actually gone alright. Shock horror. Like I say, I'm not overly impressed with my wall design here. In fact, there's even a gap here from the underneath here where the panelling should be, and it is not, and it's flush at the bottom, so down here it's flush, so really there should be no gap here, but there is. Alright, and last one, which was from issue number 82. It says make sure the frame is the right way up. Windowsill to the bottom. Does this even have a windowsill? Oh, I think my windowsill's upside down on this one, guys. Ha! I'm not changing that now. So, this piece at the top, and this piece, which would have had the windowsill if it had been the right way. No, this is the windowsill. How weird. How come it goes the opposite way? Maybe I'm just going... I think I'm just going ditty. Ignore my thoughts here. And do that. Just took Juliet for a little walk while I was waiting for this paint and stuff to dry. Drive me nuts. So I'll probably go over this a little bit more with some paint and stuff, and try and work at it. I'm just not... It's not on them, it's on me. Well, this fitting is on them, I think. Some of this might be because I need a bit of a gap because of the wiring. It's possible. But nevertheless, I don't like how it's come out particularly. Now that said, the other one that I've done, the one that we did last time, has fitted in the wall in the house just fine, because you know I fit them as I do. So, alright, so what they want you to do is cut off the bottom. Do you remember me having this on this, whether to cut this bottom off or not? Anyway, you cut them off. And then it says to draw lines on this one, but with a pencil. I don't know why. Attach the surround, 3 to the doorway, and the frames from step 4 to the lower. It doesn't give any particular reason why it needs you to do that. Anyway, let's take this off. So now we wanted it off anyway. Do you remember I took it off and then I had to re-stick one of them back on? I can't remember which one because I just grabbed one. Right, let's sand that down. How weird. Anyway, so you don't have the bottom on this. Oh, got some glue on there. Got dust everywhere. And it should just about go on the outside, I'm guessing. Or do you think it goes on the inside? It's hard to tell. The window doesn't fit all the way back. Oh, grabbed hold of it. I think we will put some glue on the frame itself. And then I think it's just going to stick where it's going to stick. I mean, the Doll's House one was, when I did the Disney Doll's House, was a little bit more precise, I think, than this has been. I didn't quite have as many issues, but I think that's because this one's more crafty, so if you are looking for more content, then this probably is the one. And you do get to develop your skills and stuff. And that wants to go on the inside, I see. I think we just have it just about on the outside. If I lift one out, then they... So it'll be something like that, which is interesting. I can't push this through. Can I push this through anymore? Oh, that's as far as it wants to go. Sorry, dog's outside. That's as far as it wants to go. I've just got a hair on it. I'll have to check my pup to make sure my pup's okay. I think she's probably fine. Oh, she's lying down. Yeah, she's definitely fine. It was a walk. It wasn't a far walk. Went down and saw my sister. Had a cup of coffee, but it gives her a chance to practice lead training. Which, although I do like her off lead, I prefer to try and lead train her for when we have a situation where she has to be on lead. Alright, we'll see if there's any of that glue left. Right, next we are going to put some wood glue, it says around here, all the way around, a little bit on the wallpaper. This one needs a bit more of a push in. This one might need a little bit of a and the windowsill part, so you got this here, so you want the windowsill part at the bottom. You can't see anything of this anyway. There we go, something like that. Like I say, they're just made like cardboard, really. Just kind of disappointing. And I'm not sure with all the painting that I did on the white and things like that on like here, if it was necessary, but I felt last time I put these on that it kind of showed a bit. This window's going to need clamping. Let's go grab that. Alright, let's get that on there. Just not quite going in this side enough. That's quite a gap. There we go. And then put one at the bottom as well. So hopefully the others won't be such a problem. Obviously I don't have many of these types of clamps. I've got 4 altogether. Plus I don't want to put too much pressure on that windowsill after all the hassle I had of doing the frames and stuff. Needs one further in. I haven't looked at the others, so we will see. I'll get another clamp for that in a second. We just check the others are in. Okay. The others aren't a problem. Let me go grab a clamp. Alright. that one's all clamped in. The rest of the windows were fine, so I'm gonna go and get the rest of these frames done, and then I have to get the main part of the house down, because we are doing something for that as well. So I will be back in a few minutes. I'll show you what this looks like first. Alright, next we are going to take some of these strips and actually work on the main part of the house. I need two, and this is from the piece of paper we did not use last time. So the funny thing is, you'll see in a second, I'll show you, we're not going to see much of this because I'm pretty sure the wall that's on right now, the one that we did before, my very first one at filling, gets stuck in, so I don't think we are going to keep the papers safe. By the way, we'll be needing them again. Not today. Again, they recommend you use double-sided tape. It's 8mm, so if you do that, so I will be using tacky, I think. So I got my wall in place, so it looks alright. So we are going to be working on the stairs, and you can see how much is going to be seen, and we're actually working on, it's probably difficult, the wall behind the stairs in between, and taking it all the way to the edge. So let me get this side off because it's not fixed, but I think it will be fixed. Alright, so where we are going to put it is, I'll show you, behind here, all the way into the corner, and then take it all the way to the edge here, basically, which will be interesting. So I'm going to get and do that. I'm going to use tacky glue. I don't do the double-sided tape unless I really have to, just because it never works. So I will, and I've got loads of it, but like I say, it just doesn't seem to stick. So bear with me and I'll show you when we're done. Alrighty, and this is roughly what you end up like. So you have these two strips going along here and here. They need to dry still. Like I said, I just use tacky glue for it, but I'm sure you could use double-sided tape as they recommend. What they recommend is that you tape it, double-sided tape on this end, and then fold it in there. Couldn't imagine trying to cut it from that, but okay. And I did it the opposite way. I pushed it into here first, and kept pushing it down, like I can see here, right up here. Needs pushing down again, but it's tacky glue, so it will take. Right, and that is all there is to it. So let me put this to one side and we can show you. I will put my wall back on that when that's all dry, just so it keeps its shape more than anything else, because, you know, knowing me, it would lose shape, and then when it comes to doing it, I won't be able to. So what we did in this issue is we did both sides of this one and this one. I got this paper totally around the wrong way. This one, I believe it's this one, and this one I got round the wrong way. They should have been the opposite. Should have had pink in the middle here. Something like that, I can't remember even now, that was yesterday. So anyway, it was okay. I mean, this is a removable panel, so I'm not too worried about it. I hate the fact that I have to thingy it, fill it. And then you got this one, and we put all our windows in, and we did the filling, which is not a great job. I mean, like, it's missing from here, so I'm going to work on that a bit before I actually fit this to the house and make sure I'm happy. But all the windows have now gone in properly, and the window frames are okay, not so bad. And that is it for this month, so we won't be touching this now for several weeks when we get the next lot. So let's see what we're going to do next. Alright, so another wood build. This is the mechanical music box. I did, called Starry Nights. I did one of these, and I believe it was Roker, and in my moves it actually got broken, and even though I had the pieces for a while, on the second move I no longer did. So this is what we're going to do. It's not a Roker, it looks like it is like DIY. And we will give this a go, and hopefully it looks identical. That's the thing, it looks almost identical. Looks like it's going to be musical, so that's going to be fun. So do join me on our adventures to try and get this right. And like I say, you know, watch me if you don't want to make mistakes, because the likelihood is I'm going to make mistakes. So we will just see. Maybe this will go together perfectly. You never know, right? And then you'll all be like, you lied. There's so many mistakes that I made. And it's like, oh, I didn't this time, but I'm sure that's not how it's going to go, because it's just not. I know I broke this when I made it. These pieces around here are incredibly delicate, and yeah, it was a mission, but still, and it was not the first model I ever did, but it wasn't far from, and it was bought for me by my sister, like I say. Alrighty, so thank you very much for watching and your time, and I look forward to seeing you if you're just here for the Moomin in about 3-4 weeks time, when we will start the next 5. I will have the Snoopy, if you're interested in part works, the Snoopy doghouse will be here in a couple of weeks. It's been shipped, so just waiting for that, and in the meantime we will get on with this little one. So I am looking forward to unboxing it and seeing what we have. Alright, you take care, everybody. Do please leave any comments. I will get back to you. Like and subscribe, that really helps the channel massively, and most of all, do take care of yourself, because you're the ones who are important. Take care. Bye bye now.